The Valorian throne room fell silent as Dr. Marcus Chen stepped forward, his worn medical bag clutched in weathered hands. Before him, Princess Lyria lay motionless on a crystalline platform, her luminescent blue skin fading to an ashen gray. The royal physicians had exhausted every remedy known to their advanced civilization, yet the mysterious ailment continued its relentless march. Emperor Thaxon's 6 eyes narrowed as he observed the human. This primitive species from a backwater world had no business in the imperial palace, yet desperation had brought them to this moment. The Valorians had conquered 100 star systems, their technology millennia ahead of Earth's, but now they watched helplessly as their beloved princess slipped away. "You dare approach the heir to the Valorian Empire?" Chancellor Vex hissed, his mandibles clicking with displeasure. "Your kind barely understands quantum mechanics. What could you possibly offer?" Marcus ignored the insult. He had heard worse during his 20 years as a field medic in Earth's most dangerous regions. War zones, disaster sites, plague outbreaks, he had seen humanity at its worst and best. Now, representing Earth's first diplomatic mission to the Valorian Empire, he carried the weight of 2 worlds on his shoulders. "With respect, Chancellor," Marcus replied calmly. "Sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective." He approached the princess, noting the rapid, shallow rise of her chest. Her vital signs displayed on holographic screens showed readings that would have been fatal to any human. Yet for Valorians, they indicated she was hours from death. Marcus knelt beside the platform, his knees protesting the movement. At 53, he was too old for this, but he was all Earth had sent. The Emperor raised a clawed hand. "Stop. Our physicians have already conducted every scan possible. Her cellular structure is collapsing from an unknown pathogen. There is no cure." Marcus looked up at the towering alien monarch. "Your Majesty, may I examine her?" "Not with machines, but with my hands." A collective gasp echoed through the chamber. Physical contact with royalty was forbidden in Valorian culture, punishable by death. The royal guards tensed, their plasma weapons humming to life. "Preposterous!" Vex shrieked. "The contamination protocols alone." "Let him try," a weak voice interrupted. Princess Lyria's eyes fluttered open, pools of violet barely visible through the haze of pain. "I am dying anyway. What harm can it do?" The Emperor's expression remained unreadable, but after a long moment he nodded. "Proceed, human, but know that if you fail, you will join her in death." Marcus had expected nothing less. He removed his gloves slowly, deliberately, and placed his bare hand on the princess's forehead. Her skin felt like cool glass beneath his palm, and he could sense the fever raging within her alien biology. Then he felt it, a familiar pattern that transcended species. The rapid pulse, the heat distribution, the muscle tension. He had felt these signs 1,000 times before in 1,000 different patients. Not in aliens, but the principle remained the same. The body was fighting something and losing. "She's in septic shock," Marcus announced. "Or the Valorian equivalent. Her immune system is attacking her own cells." "We know this," Beck snapped. "Our treatments have failed. The pathogen is too aggressive." "It's not a pathogen," Marcus said quietly, his hand moving to check her lymphatic nodes, or what he assumed were their equivalents. "It's an autoimmune response. Her body is rejecting something." He looked at the Emperor. "What medical procedures has she undergone recently?" Thaxon's eyes widened slightly. 3 solar cycles ago, she received a bioenhancement treatment. Standard procedure for all royalty upon reaching maturity. It strengthens our natural defenses and extends our lifespan. Marcus nodded. "And I'm guessing this treatment was designed for pure Valorian biology?" "Of course." "Has the princess had any contact with other species? Any genetic markers that might be different?" The throne room erupted in outraged voices. Such a suggestion was beyond scandalous. But the Emperor raised his hand for silence, his expression grave. "Her mother," he said slowly, "was from a tributary world, genetically compatible with Valorians but not identical." Marcus had his answer. "The enhancement is treating those genetic differences as foreign invaders. Her immune system is caught in a feedback loop, attacking the treatment, which triggers more immune response, which attacks her healthy cells." He reached into his medical bag and withdrew a simple syringe filled with clear liquid. "Prednisone, a corticosteroid. It's one of humanity's oldest immunosuppressants." Vex laughed bitterly. "A primitive chemical? Against Valorian bioengineering?" Sometimes, Marcus said, preparing the injection, you don't need a quantum computer to solve a problem. Sometimes you just need to turn down the volume. He administered the medication into what he hoped was a major blood vessel. For a moment, nothing happened. The royal family leaned forward, hope and skepticism warring on their alien features. Then Princess Lyria gasped. Color began returning to her skin, the healthy blue luminescence spreading from her core outward. Her vital signs stabilized, the chaotic reading smoothing into steady rhythms. Within minutes, her eyes cleared, focusing on Marcus with wonder. The pain. It's fading, she whispered. The Emperor stared in disbelief as his daughter sat up, strength returning to her limbs. The royal physicians frantically checked their instruments, confirming the impossible. The humans' primitive medicine had succeeded where their advanced technology had failed. Marcus stood, his old knees cracking. She'll need monitoring and probably a few more doses, but she should make a full recovery. He'll want to reverse that bioenhancement before trying again, maybe with a modified version that accounts for her genetic diversity. Chancellor Vex opened his mouth, then closed it. There were no words. Emperor Thaxon descended from his throne, an unprecedented act that sent the entire court to their knees. He approached Marcus and placed a massive hand on the human's shoulder. You have saved my daughter's life with knowledge we dismissed as primitive, the Emperor said. Perhaps we have underestimated humanity. Perhaps your species' greatest strength is not your technology, but your ability to see simple truths where we see only complexity. Marcus smiled wearily. We've had a lot of practice treating what we don't fully understand. When you can't always rely on advanced technology, you learn to rely on observation, intuition, and sometimes a little bit of luck. Princess Lyria reached out and took Marcus's hand, her grip surprisingly strong. Thank you, Dr. Chen. You have shown us that wisdom is not measured in technological advancement, but in the courage to act when others hesitate. As Marcus was escorted from the throne room with honors typically reserved for war heroes, he reflected on the strange turn his life had taken. Humanity had joined the galactic community not through superior weapons or faster ships, but through something simpler, the hard-won experience of healing the sick with whatever tools were available. Sometimes he thought being humanity was enough.